Hi guys, welcome back. Today's going to be a really quick one, straight to the point for you guys. I want to talk about how much water you should be drinking and how you should be drinking water. And I'll just layer in a bit about why drinking water is so important. Did you guys know that drinking water is the most important nutrient in the body? You can go weeks without food, but only days without water. And it makes up 60 to 70% of your entire body. So you're mainly water. So this is no joke. If you're someone who doesn't drink water, like my fiance Nico, he's literally one of these people. He doesn't drink water. I mean, he'll go a day, 2 days, having a couple cups of water and drinking plenty of coffee. And Lord knows there are probably some drinks in there too. I mean, I'm doing it with him if it's the weekend. But I don't understand. It drives me crazy, especially as a nutritionist. I mean, I beg him, I show him all this information. But anyways, we're working on it. Nonetheless, if you are one of these people who doesn't drink water, please listen to this and take this to heart. It's the number one nutrient in the body. You're mostly water, and it's also the number one nutritional deficiency in the United States. There's this really amazing book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water by this guy F something Batman Geldy, and he talks about how water is ultimately, he believes, the source of all disease and degeneration. So can you imagine that? The number one nutritional deficiency in the United States. I wonder why. Maybe because we're all addicted to coffee, and we're addicted to soda, and we're addicted to happy hour, myself included. So don't worry, I'm not above any of that, but I think I'm just over-informed at this point. And so I think that water is super important. It's a super important subject. It's an easy way to make huge progress in your health. So really quick, I want to tell you some of the many roles of water, because if you're like me, when I understand why something works the way that it does or how something works, it makes it a lot easier for me to follow through on that behavioral change or that behavioral action. So one of the things that water does that's really important is it improves oxygen delivery to cells. Sounds pretty important to me. It also transports nutrients all around your body. So when we talk about eating a healthy, incredible diet, we're making sure we're getting these really good foods and we're digesting those foods. Well, the thing is, if we're dehydrated, we know digestion isn't going to be working well because digestion requires water. But if we're going to assume that you had digested that well, you've done all this work to eat all this healthy food and to digest it, but those nutrients aren't going to get around your body very well when you're not properly hydrated. And that's because when you're dehydrated, your blood actually becomes more viscous, so it's thicker, so it's not flowing as well. And that is how nutrition and nutrients and oxygen and hormones and neurotransmitters and your immune system and everything, including your lymph, everything flows around your body. So it requires that hydration. So super important when you think about it that way. All right, so a couple more things. Water enables your cells to be properly hydrated or enables cellular hydration. And it also moistens oxygen, making it easier to breathe. It cushions your bones and joints. So if you're someone who has problems with your joints, keep that in mind. And then on the flip side of that, water also helps your body absorb the shock to those joints and organs. So let's say you bumped into something, or you're an athlete, or you're playing a sport where you're jumping a lot. Water is going to play a role in protecting those joints by cushioning them and protecting them. They act like little shock absorbers for your joints and for your body, for your organs, for all of that. Another thing I hear a lot of people say, they get really cold, really hot. Water helps regulate your body temperature, which whatever direction you go, if you run hot or cold, water is going to help you manage that and help lessen the coldness and lessen the heat. So if you're feeling like you run too hot or too cold, you might be dehydrated. So that might help. Another obvious one probably is that water helps remove waste from your body. So I don't want you to just think about it, when you're going to the restroom, which is obviously one of the main ways that your body removes waste, but also think about when you're sweating or when you're breathing or all the things that your body needs to do to remove waste on the inside. So it's all about flushing those toxins out. So water is super important in that. Don't worry about crazy detox regimens just yet. Just drink more water. So another thing it does is it helps lubricate your tissues and your joints. So if you're feeling like you're really tense and you're carrying a bunch of knots in your back, and you feel like you're someone who carries a lot of stress in your neck or someone in your shoulders like me, are you drinking enough water? That might help loosen up some of those tissues. And something else I don't think a lot of people think about very regularly is that you're an electrical being. I don't know if you know this, but you have an electromagnetic field around you. We'll get into more energetic and spiritual stuff later. I want to get in all those good nutritional basics and get those in place really solid. But know that you're an electrical being, and your cells and your neurotransmitters and everything communicates with electricity, and it needs water to be able to do that. So when you're properly hydrated, that's going to improve the way that your cells can communicate with each other. Also seems pretty important to me. So again, water is going to help you maintain those electrical properties of your body. And it's also going to play a really big role in your body's natural healing processes. So that's going to give you guys, hopefully, a good idea of how critical water is to you. It's not just like, yeah, I know I need to be healthy. No, there are really critical ways that being hydrated affects your health, or being dehydrated affects your health. Another thing I want you guys to think about, if you're someone who drinks a lot of diuretics, if you're drinking a lot of coffee throughout the day, if you're drinking sodas, God forbid, please just tell me that you're not drinking sodas, lie to me. Or if you're drinking a lot of juice or a lot of tea, as great as tea is, those are all diuretics. And I think that there are a few herbal teas that aren't diuretics, but I think most of them are. You should still kind of consider them in that category. So what a diuretic is essentially just making your body lose water. So if you're not putting enough water in and you're drinking things that are actually going to bring the water out, you're going to be dehydrated, and you're at risk for all of those issues that I just listed above. Also, the quality of your water is something that I want you to consider. You know, are you drinking Dasani water from the gas station, which I know it looks nice and it tastes nice, but we know it's not good quality water? Or are we able to prioritize that for ourselves, get some natural water, some well water, and that would be the best case scenario for you. I also want to dispel a little bit about some of the myths about reverse osmosis and distilled water. These are not going to be great sources for you guys to drink pretty much ever, because first of all, reverse osmosis has a lot of wastewater, which isn't good for the environment, but they also remove all these water's natural minerals and electrolytes. And so while they're theoretically removing toxins or other particulate matter that we don't want in the water, like fluoride and chlorine, they're also removing those natural electrolytes, which are present in natural well and spring water. And what they do is they help your body to hold on to that hydration. You know what electrolytes are through Gatorade. I guess we've imagined that Gatorade was the only source of electrolytes, but no, actually natural spring, natural well water has natural electrolytes in it. So if you're drinking a bunch of reverse osmosis or distilled water, it's actually, interestingly enough, going to be pretty dehydrating, and here's why. So if you think about a cell, and you think about the space you have that's inside the cell, and then the space you have that's outside of the cell in the rest of your body, you've got this space that's filling up everything around the cells. When you're drinking a bunch of reverse osmosis water, or water that doesn't have those mineral electrolytes in it, the osmotic pressure between the space outside the cell and inside the cell is imbalanced. And so what will happen is your body needs to regulate that pressure. It needs to be balanced, so it will pull minerals from inside your cells out to the outside space to maintain that osmotic pressure. And then what happens, you're going to go to pee, and you end up losing even more minerals than you had, losing more of those necessary electrolytes. So definitely get good quality water. At the very minimum, you can use just a basic filter from your tap. If the best you can do is a Brita, great, but please just filter at least something out of there. Another thing to consider is you can add back some of those electrolytes into your water. So what you can do is you can sprinkle in a little bit of Himalayan or pink salt, Himalayan salt or natural sea salt, or something. Not so much that it should taste salty. I don't want it to be unappetizing. It will make the water taste like slightly thicker, which is interesting. But yeah, you can do that whenever, especially if you're feeling like you need extra hydration. Like for me, when I feel like I'm getting a headache, I make sure to get even more electrolytes so that my body can hold on to even more of that hydration. So give that a shot. Add a little bit sprinkle of salt to your water, and you know you're going to be getting those good natural electrolytes. Throw out the Gatorade, but make sure you're getting good hydration that way. Okay, so the next question is, how much water should you be drinking? First and foremost, I want you to get out a quick pen and paper and write down this simple equation. You can use this whenever you've forgotten how much water you're supposed to be drinking, or if something has changed dramatically in your life or your diet. So we're going to use a simple number so that I can do this math on camera while I'm recording without messing up. Let's assume you're 200 pounds, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to take your body weight, half your body weight in ounces is your first number. So our first number is 100. So if someone's 200 pounds, they need to drink 100 ounces to remain properly hydrated. But of course, most of us are drinking a fair amount of diuretics on a daily basis. Remember the coffees, teas, sodas, juices, etc. So for ease of calculation, I'm just going to say, let's say this person, you or me, drinks 10 ounces of diuretics a day, coffee and tea and God forbid soda. So you're going to take the ounces of diuretics that you drink, multiply that by 1.5, and then that's your second number. So if you have 10 times 1.5 is 15. I'm really proud of myself for being able to do even that simple math. But so we've got 100 as our first number and 15 as a second number. If we add those together, what do we get? 115 ounces, which is the number of ounces of water a 200-pound person that drinks 10 ounces of diuretics a day needs to remain properly hydrated. Now we know how much water you're supposed to be drinking. We know what kind of water ideally you're supposed to be drinking, and we know what to do if you only have access to kind of okay water or tap water to make sure we're getting the cleanest water possible and adding back electrolytes where we can. So how are you supposed to be making sure that you're drinking that much water throughout the day? You know that you need to drink 115 ounces of water throughout the day, but let's say it's 9 p.m. and you look at your water bottle and you realize, oh shit, I haven't had any water yet. Do you think that that's a good time to try to down 115 ounces of water? If your instinct's telling you no, you're right. You don't want to guzzle a bunch of water late at night, not just because you don't want to get up to go to the bathroom 8 times, because that's also something that will be dehydrating to you, because your body can actually only absorb so much water at a given time. And so when it has an excess of water, it kind of speeds up the process. You have to go to the bathroom a lot, and it's just got to get rid of it. It's like waste essentially for it. It can't process it. So then at the same time, that's another situation where you're going to be flushing out more electrolytes than you would have liked to otherwise. And you may end up slightly more dehydrated. That's kind of something that really surprises people. You can drink too much water in a specific moment. So it's not a good idea to guzzle a bunch of water. The proper way to do it is to sip throughout the day. So I would say start first thing in the morning. The first thing I do in the morning is drink some water. And I would suggest you do the same, because I feel like the things you do like immediately when you wake up are the things that like mentally open a door first thing in the morning. And it just makes it so much easier to keep walking through that door throughout the day if that door is already open. So if you wait until the afternoon, chances are maybe you don't at all. So wake up, have some water by your bedside. And I use a 2 to 3 to 4 sip rule. So let's say I have 2, 3, 4 maybe long sips, and then I put my water down. And I try to come back every few minutes. Sometimes it's longer than a few minutes, of course. You get into things, but try not to just gulp away every time you have water. We want it to be like this IV drip of life-giving water throughout the day. And so you're gonna have to pace yourself to figure out how quickly you need to be drinking that water to be reaching your goals. And you don't want to be drinking it all in the first part of the day or all at the end of the night. So, just try to figure out how to pace that, and you'll figure it out. I mean, you're smart. So don't go over a gallon of water a day. And if when you do your calculation based on your size and how many diuretics you're having, you're seeing that a number climb over a gallon of water a day, girl, you need to cut back on the diuretics. Have a few less coffees, have a few less tea. All right, and remember 2, 3, 4 long sips of water throughout the day, and you should be pretty hydrated. And you should feel really good about that, because you know that amazing life-giving hydration is serving every single bodily function, but it's specifically supporting your mood by making sure to transfer around all those good mood regulating and generating neurotransmitters and hormones. It's going to aid in digestion, which is going to make nutrition more available to your body, to make you even more, have a bigger nutrient density in your body, more available to make more of those neurotransmitters and hormones. And you're going to store nutrition better, you're going to heal faster, you're going to strengthen your immune system. All of the things that your body needs to do on a daily basis is helped by drinking more water. Remember, your body is 60% water. You are water. So drink it. Couple more quick tips. I want you guys drinking out of stainless steel or glass, so go get yourself that sexy $30 water bottle that makes you feel good about drinking water and makes you feel good. And try experiment. If you're not into plain water, you can experiment with citrus, with fruit, with herbs, whatever you can. Make water work for you. Make it feel like your little water hydration temple, and just make sure you're getting that water in on a daily basis. Okay, that's what I've got for you guys today. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. And I want you to comment below what the most surprising fact about water was that you learned in this episode. Let me know how you're going to make water your own and make water exciting. And again, thank you so much for being here, you guys, and I'll see you next time.